Hey there guys, welcome back. So a couple of days ago I did a video on Tonebank by Node Audio. This is really brilliant. I've been playing around with it a lot since I made that video. So that one was my main walkthrough, but I realized after that there's something very powerful that this can do that I didn't explain in that video. So I want to make a really short video just highlighting that. So see here I've called this preset Dueling Banjos, right? So, I'm sure most of you have seen Deliverance, right? The movie Deliverance with the famous dueling banjos scene. If you haven't, you absolutely got to go and watch it. Brilliant movie. So, when you have two people playing, one's listening to the other and then they're responding, and you have one person playing and then the next person plays. So this app can do that. It can generate that. It'll need a little bit of tweaking from you. But then you can end up with these really cool call and response lines, question and answer. And what would be interesting as well? I mean, you could have just one instrument doing this, and then you could play the response yourself, on your keyboard or whatever, right? Or your guitar or whatever, So let me just let you hear, first of all, this total little session that's going on here, and then I'll concentrate on the first two instruments because they're the ones that are doing the call and response. So have a listen first. So here we've got a classical guitar, triple harp. These two are doing the call and response. Next, double bass, pizzicato. And here, a classical guitar. This one here is not being used. I'll use that in a second. So now let me just, I'm just going to take these off. And now we're just going to hear these two. So have a listen and you'll see that, we have one and then we have the other. And sometimes there might be a little bit of overlap, depends how you've set things up, but let's have a listen. Okay, question, answer. Question, answer, right? And you see, these are evolving over time. And so the other instances, if we look at the first two instances, they're set to melody mode, right? These two here, these are set to loop mode, which is more for accompaniment. So let me let you hear just the accompaniment instruments. Right? So see, there's nothing like a call and response going on there. Now let's hear just the first two. And we're back at this call and response thing. Right? So let's have a little look at, what's going on here. So I won't go through all the controls of the app or anything. You can watch the main video for all that stuff. Here, just remember, we've got global controls. And then down here, we've got some per instance controls. And here as well, some of the things are per instance, like this little thing. So here, this is set to melody mode. If this is on, then here I can set a position. I've got this set to fix phrase beginning, right? Now, a lot of things are, you're going to have to look at here when you set this up. You're going to want to look at the length and, how long your phrase is. These are all things that you can play around with. Also, these controls are super important. Let's just listen just to this first thing. So you see here, when it passes this, it can start playing its phrase. And then this part is empty, and that's because, I've set the phrase length pretty short. Let's just recap what is a phrase in this. A phrase is a collection of words. What does words mean? A word is made of syllables. So in this context, what that really means is just collections of long and short sounds. So like, for example, let's say something like this is a syllable, right? Bum. Okay, and this is a syllable. Bum. But that second syllable is longer than the first one, right? And then a word is syllables together, like for example, bum, bum, right? Here we have a word which has a short syllable. We can represent that with the number 1, and a long syllable represented with 2, right? The number 2. So a phrase is just a collection of these words, and the words are made of syllables. So this density control is very important to understand. Actually, as far as I can see, this is described wrongly in the manual. It's kind of the opposite of what is actually described in the manual. So I'm going to show you that. Let's just look at the density knob again. I'll explain to you first here briefly. So if density is set to 100, only short syllables will be used. If density is all the way at 0, only long syllables will be used. And then if it's at 50, it's going to be sort of half and half, or so basically something along those lines. So let me show you with this other example. I said I'd use this later. So here I've got Rhodes piano, and I'm using that because if I use the guitar or whatever, it's not going to sustain in the same way, and it just won't be as clear to you what's going on here. And then here I've got this piano roll, and so I just recorded some stuff in here before. I'm going to show you. So if you look at this and have a listen to this. Right, so you can see short, long, short, and like that, right? It goes on. So, here we have short, long, short, 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 long, right? Same here. So this is when density was set to 50, right? Then as we go on, we come into the next section over here, and you can already see here, these are all long. So that is with the density knob set to 0. So let's have a listen. It's going to catch up now. Here we go. You see, those were all long, no short syllables there at all. Then continuing on, if you look at this part, this is all just short syllables. Like this looks long, but it's actually 2 short notes together, right? This piano roll I'm using here is Atom Piano Roll, Atom 2. I have a walkthrough on this on the channel. One thing though that annoys the hell out of me about this, I just wish it would auto-scroll. That's why I'm having to drag this damn thing along here. It doesn't auto-scroll, it's so aggravating. Okay, so that's the density control. And let's get things playing here. So then with development, if we put development down at 0, the rhythm, the rhythm of long and short sounds, that's going to stay identical, but pitches can still change, right? That's only affecting rhythm. If we put it all the way up to 100, it'll change radically, basically. So we've got everything in between. So here we get a little bit of change over time, but it's, some of the rhythm patterns will remain for more than one loop, right? And so, looking at the second instance here, right? You see here, I've set the beginning of this one to here. So that's the harp, right? And that's coming in here. So, if we look at the 2 of those side by side, right? This one is basically roughly able to do phrases within the first half, and then this one will keep them to the second half. And then we can change all of that, we can allow longer phrase length, for example, and then we'll get overlapping, right? So that was set 2 to 3. Now, it sometimes takes a while to catch up with changes. You see? See, now this is going into this part. And by the way, you can also set these up with the fix phrase ending option, and that's basically the same as this mode in a way, but just here it will end the phrase at this line. If it's on this mode, it will start the phrase at that line. Right? And then, you know, just play around with everything. Let me let you hear what it would be like if I put all of them into melody mode. Here I've got this on solo mode. Let me just change it to, well, let's just leave it at that. Again, see my original video for more explanation. Oh, that's great, isn't it? This is such a cool app. There are some bugs, by the way, at the time that I'm making this with the iOS version, the AUV3, which I'm using here. For example, if I save a preset to AUM, it's not recalling properly. And if I, save a session in AUM and recall the session, the state is also not being recalled properly. I've told the developer about this and he's looking at it. I'm sure that will be fixed because that's definitely not something that you want. Seriously, cool app. It's so different. It's so musical. I absolutely love it. Love it. It is really fun to go in and edit your own chords as well. But there's also currently, oh, let me see. Is that, oh no, sorry, that was the clave one. Yeah, there's also currently a little bug with that where the top is off here. That's also going to be fixed. So yeah, definitely could have had a little bit of better testing, the iOS version of this app, but it is really superb. Definitely, absolutely one of my favorite apps of the year so far. I'll be very surprised if it's not, within my top list of the year by the end of 2020. What year are we in? 2026. I'm pretty sure it'll be one of the top 2 or 3 apps in that. Okay, guys, hope this was useful for you. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.